So last night, President Trump called out Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Tonight, in Leader McConnell's home state of Kentucky here, we asked some of his constituents what they think about him and this war of words that has been going on. Watch this.
You know, I've been a Mitch McConnell fan all my life, born and raised here. I'm disappointed in him. He's not being a true leader, and he should obey what the president is asking, work with the president.
I think that Mitch McConnell for Kentucky, that's how we get a lot of money back to Kentucky, I'm sure, through Mitch.
There was a report yesterday that Mitch McConnell and the president aren't speaking to each other right now. What do you think about that?
I say Mitch needs to go. I'm sorry. It's just, he's not doing the job. He's not doing the agenda for Donald Trump. I mean, he's the leader there. He's supposed to be getting these people together.
So tonight, we do have some new developments, and that is that the White House is setting up a meeting between the two men when Congress returns for the session. Here now is Kentucky Congressman Thomas Massie. Good to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
What do you think about all that?
Oh, I knew there were going to be some rough spots between leadership in the Senate and the House and the president when I heard his inaugural address.
Yeah.
It was pretty tough on the deep swamp, I'll call it. But, this may surprise you, but I want to take up for my senior senator here a little bit and contrast him with our Speaker of the House. Okay, we never even got to vote on a repeal bill in the House. What we voted on was on Obamacare Light. At least in the Senate, Senator McConnell has given them 4 or 5 votes. And what you can see over there is it's not just Senator McConnell, or it may not even be him at all. They don't even have 50 people over there who will vote to repeal Obamacare. Now, in the House, we don't have 218, which is the number we need to get to. But you know what? Paul Ryan won't put the repeal bill on the floor. We've done a discharge petition to try and force that bill, that repeal vote, on the floor because we still haven't had it. This is sort of like a hot potato, and it was in Paul Ryan's hands for a while, and he passed a placebo. It wasn't a real repeal, and then gave it over to McConnell, and now he's had several votes which demonstrate a lot of those senators aren't what they seem purported to be.
I mean, it's clear the president's upset about what's happened. I think he thought it was going to be a little bit easier to get things through since he has a Republican House and he has a Republican Senate. Last night, he went after Jeff Flake, who he's not a big fan of, who wrote a whole book about why he doesn't like the president. And here's what he said when he kind of danced around using his name last night. Watch this.
And nobody wants me to talk about your other senator, who's weak on borders, weak on crime. So I won't talk about him. Nobody wants me to talk about him. Nobody knows who the hell he is.
And here's a tweet that he sent out this morning. It wasn't enough that he sort of danced around the name when everybody knew exactly who he was talking about last night. So this morning, when I woke up, I saw this. Phoenix crowd last night was amazing, a packed house. I love the great state of Arizona. Not a fan of Jeff Flake, just in case you didn't get me last night. Weak on crime and the border. But, some say that, Jeff Flake is not on board with the agenda, and they are critical of him. So do you think the president would be wrong to try to primary him and try to get him out of there? Or do you think that these folks need to figure out a way to come together and find some common ground?
Maybe they're not going to find common ground on this issue, but what I've learned serving in the House of Representatives, there's 435 members. Don't alienate any of them, not a single one, because you have to get to 218 on everything in the House. In the Senate, it's either 51 or 60, depending on what the issue is. And if you alienate somebody over one topic, then when you go to, say, infrastructure or tax reform, maybe Senator Flake will be there for the president on that vote. So I don't think it's a good strategy for developing consensus on the next issue. It might help to put pressure on him to get him to come along this time.
Jeff Flake's going to call him up tomorrow and say, hey, let's work together. That's awesome.
No, not on because, look, it does get personal. This is why we don't address each other by name.
Personal.
We say Mr. Speaker or my colleague.
Good friend
yeah, my good
Kentucky.
friend from Arizona.
All right, my good friend from Kentucky. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll see you later.